Dub Nation. Here we are again. I'm a little bit late, but had to take a break and do the thumbnail in the back. Do all roads lead to Lauri Markkanen? You know the answer to that, in my opinion. Buddy Hield at a $9 million first year salary? I mean, that's the smoking gun for me. That's an unbelievably low price. Buddy Hield on the Warriors for a single digit million. It just screams to me that we're getting marketing. Because why else would he do that? Now, let's throw the back screen up. I still have Decky from the previous live that we did with Alex of the Rim Review on Quinton Post and Reese Beekman, but I wish I kept the other window. I'm going to have to get Dean on here real quick. The other window that I did for this video, not the Rim Review. Let's change it to Let's Go Warriors. For this video right here, the 34 million to Markkanen, I did a salary cap sheet analysis and I literally typed it in. I replaced Andrew Wiggins with Lauri Markkanen, and I pegged the number of the salary of Buddy Hield was 17 million just to match Klay. I didn't know what to go off of. Buddy Hield's going to get 9 million when Klay gets 17 million and KCP gets 22 million. I mean, he's coming here for a discount. There's no doubt in my mind. Why would he come here for a discount? It's because we're getting marketed. So my confidence increased now that we're getting Buddy Hield at 9 million. That's unbelievable. So we will go through that exercise. And with that, I am going to bring on, you guessed it, RJ, my esteemed colleague, Dean of Positivity Chambers.
Hey, thank you, Rich.
Hey, Dean. Glad to have everybody here. So, Dean, I'm about to embark on getting the spreadsheet ready for this. So you give us your take, and then if you run out of things to say, answer the comments if you could. Thanks.
Okay. So Buddy Hield, I've read, had the second most 3-pointers made over the last 5 seasons, behind only Steph Curry. I'm sure once Klay was back, he was just about second there too. But this is over the last 5 seasons. I don't know what the market for Hield really was around the league, but it does feel like this is a contract that is, coming off of Hield's 28 million that he got before. I think it was 28 million. This is a contract that's very team friendly and still large enough to put us right up to the get us right up to the second apron, and it just offers plenty of flexibility for any kind of trades or any kind of salary matching or anything like that, while giving the Warriors a guy who, in Steve Kerr's system, if you can put a guy out there, for instance, if you put Buddy Hield out there in a position that Jordan Poole was in, where you're hiding him on defense, because I think we have the personnel to do that, and just letting him cook, from the outside, I can imagine him having, a very, very productive year in Kerr's offensive system, more so than in Sacramento or in Philadelphia, where he was most recently. I think this is a great pickup for the Dubs. I wouldn't just say that though. It makes a lot of sense. We got D'Anthony Melton. He keeps reminding me of Avery Bradley. We were going after Avery Bradley for a while, right? And then we transitioned to GP2. But that kind of 3D type primary ball handler defender, for that contract is excellent, in my opinion. Kyle Anderson is just a total win for the team. I don't think because there's been so much going on, I don't think we've really touched on, just how impactful I think Anderson would be with his playmaking, with some of his defensive abilities against taller guys, with the fact that I believe he was a 6-man Timberwolves as well. But we needed a shooter for this team, a guy who's just money from the 3-point line, and who can totally space the court. And that's not all Hield can do, but that's going to be his main role in the team. And I wrote out the players that I think, because I'm not, well, I think we have 14 players on the roster right now. Me and Rich were talking.
Hold on. Here you go. Present the screen. I'm presenting the wrong screen. Hang on. I just pulled up the spreadsheet for you guys. I hope you can read it, because it's, it's a spreadsheet, and kind of, there you go. That readable? I hope so.
It looks good to me.
14 guys. Go ahead, and whenever you're ready, I'm going to keep answering the comments.
Oh, okay.
When you're ready, I'll punch in Buddy Hield right here and see what we get.
Yeah. So there's...
oh, what a comment, Rel. Thanks, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. Lil Bill said Buddy Hield's a good 6-man. Yeah.
What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
He's Little Bill said Buddy Hield is a good 6-man. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we have 14 players on the roster here, and all of them, I think, address to some degrees what happened last year, and also losing Klay. You can't replace Klay with one player, but if we traded Klay, if Klay has to be traded, we'll say, and we got back D'Anthony Melton, Kyle Anderson, and Buddy Hield, I think that that's a great value. It wasn't directly that, but it seems like we were able to do that because of addressing that situation. And I mean, I think obviously the Markkanen stuff will be on our minds until either it gets done or something else happens. That's more concrete news. But looking at this roster here, assuming that this is what we have to build around until something changes, I think this is a fairly good upgrade compared to what we had around the team last year.
You good?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. I didn't get to finish, but yeah, Buddy Hield, good 6-man.
Oh, I can keep going if you want me to.
I'm just answering the comments. What was after that one? Where is that? 1:06 p.m. Let me copy and paste that into the description and the comments, which will have cool little timestamps. Nesro Dass. Hold on. Nesro Dass also says Buddy has the most 3-pointers and Steph is second in the last 5 years. Go ahead, Dean.
Well, Shivansh posted a comment of a John Dickenson tweet. Said, Hield to me is an 18 to 25 minute bench player in ideal role with the Warriors. Basically, he'd accept the new role GSW wanted to play.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it's disrespectful to Klay, really disrespectful to you. You just got Klay's agent just told you Klay can go no lower than 40 million for 2 years, 20 million a year. Are you going to come back and say, oh, no, we want you to play 18 to 25 minutes and make $9 million? That it wasn't going to work out. So, you know,
I don't think that's how Kerr was going to use Klay either.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit. That comment that tweet is a little bit tailored for Twitter. You know, it's like everything you say on Twitter has to be within a certain character limit, number one, and then number two, you're better off if you throw somebody under the bus in the interim. Not sometimes it's not overt, but like, you know, it's just like, I don't know if I'd call that throwing Klay under the bus. It's just a little like, I don't know what to say. It's kind of unrealistic in real life of happening that Klay would actually do that. So I just don't want people to have like a negative feeling on Klay, because as I said yesterday, I think he deserves to have this opportunity with the Mavs to join the team that went to the finals, fits in perfectly. It's a good karma balance to tearing your ACL and then tearing your Achilles and you not even being able to play pickup ball for like 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, the championship was good for that too, but I totally agree. I do like, though, that what he said about Hield here. You know?
Yep. I think that's good.
Yeah. And we all kind of agreed, I think, mostly here that Hield is probably not going to start just because of defense. But, you know, I think the Jordan Poole role could be a little bit in play there, you know, just the microwave off the bench, you know. I mean, Hield can put up points in a hurry. He can do that for sure. So, I mean, having the option of you know, seeing how hot he can get and extending those minutes, or going, oh well, you know, a little bit more of a defensive game today. I think that's really exciting.
I think the starting backcourt is going to be Steph and Pods, and then you got, I mean, J.K.'s got to just come through and be a wing, and this is assuming we get Markkanen and Wiggins. His salary slot is replaced by Markkanen. And so starting five again, Steph, BP, Steph, BP, JK, Dray, and Lauri.
Yep.
Sound good?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll have to see what's involved. But if there's a trade, so, you know, it's not set in stone. But if that was the starting lineup, I'll be okay with it. However, Rel, to me, the 6'2" thing worried me when we first got him, but I watched some defensive highlights of his, and the fact that he can shoot better than GP2, who's also about the same size, by the way, and no one's worried about him, and the fact that he has a 8.5 wingspan, that's what made me think that it would be okay next to Steph. You know, and he's a pretty good athlete too, like 26, 27 years old, something like that.
Does the acquisition of Melton put GP2's salary in jeopardy?
No, the acquisition of Markkanen would, but I think if if that trade didn't happen, we'd be okay having both of those guys on the team. Because GP2 is, you know, he's a little big man, right? So he's kind of playing power forward out there sometimes and guarding some larger wings. Mm-hmm. Melton is a guard. You know what I mean? He's a perimeter ball handling guard. as well. And and he can shoot the ball a little bit. So I think they're two different players.
Okay. Good. Almost done with the comments. Oh, 95 in North Carolina. Same here in Palo Alto. Isn't it crazy?
It's 95 degrees in Palo Alto.
Yeah. That's why I moved. The lighting here is better than before, right? Because it's better than the Quinton Post live stream just now. Because I moved to the bedroom where there's air conditioning.
Nice. Yeah.
Hey, Divvy. We need a legit center. Oh, you want to take that?
TJD, Looney, Draymond.
How much do legit centers cost? Floro, Jewel, Tugade?
Yeah, they seem to be actually making more money than wings now because of the second apron.
What's a legit center? Isaiah Hartenstein?
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton? You want to go Isaiah or Ayton or all right, fine. Mitchell Robinson. 14 million, man, for Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, and Markkanen is kind of a legit center we're trying to get too,
Say that again?
But Markkanen is also, I would consider him a center.
Yep.
At times, and we're obviously trying to go after him.
He's 7 feet. He's a 5, 7 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a footer. But I understand that, when people come on here, there's all this other chatter of, oh, we just need a center. Like, okay, I understand what you're saying, although I think we have perfectly good centers on much cheaper contracts than a lot of the rest of the league. But there's also, this archetype of, well, you have a point guard in Steph Curry, so he needs a big man. And wings win titles, not centers. You need a good center. There's no doubt. You need a good center. You do. But look at the teams that have won, I know Giannis and Jokic, but you can't sign those guys as free agents right now. And they're kind of perimeter players too. They're really big wings. LeBron, and Davis. Davis has perimeter skills too, like that. So, but the Celtics and the Mavericks and Warriors in 22 and the Celtics in 22, and you'd rather have Draymond Green than Bam Adebayo still. Not that Bam isn't great. It's just that Draymond is just as great, or at least they're similar. And, having really good wings. Boston's KP, and he hardly played all playoffs, man. And they didn't have him in 22. They had, like a TJD type and Horford. I'm not saying that we don't need any big men at all, but if you're going after players to win, you want perimeter players, And yeah, didn't you see what TJD pulled off in his rookie season? Yeah, thank you, Shivansh. I agree with that. He's a legit center. Draymond is a legit center. Loon is too, and QP. We'll see. We'll see with QP. Not trying to say that he has to come in and immediately, play a lot of minutes or anything like that. But I'm okay with our big men on this team. I think we actually have a very interesting, very versatile lineup in that regard.
Slow-mo is the Sean Livingston Andre backup. Whew, man. I don't know if you want to hold him to that standard, but yeah, good guy off the bench for sure.
There are times when I could see him closing games and really being if you put him in for Draymond, a lot of Draymond's defense will be gone, but the playmaking on offense and shooting, I think you could replicate that well with slow-mo, with Kyle Anderson. I'm very good. Man, he's just such a Warriors player. I'm so glad we got him.
Yep. And Caio Felipe says, who will run the second unit? Who's going to run it, Dean?
Well, I thought it was Pods. I agree with Kimbo.
I disagree with you. It's going to be Kyle Anderson running the second unit.
It very well could be. Yeah. But I like both of them there. But,
my reasoning of Pods being a starter is not because I'm all like Pod stan. It's because that's who we had when we told Klay, when we were in the last discussions with Klay. And he goes, no, thanks. I'd rather start for the team that just lost in the finals. I mean, we were not starting
We were
Klay.
asking Klay to come off the bench in negotiations?
Yep. It's all over the reports. Every article that I sent you.
I know, but it all seemed like last season, not going forward. Last season, we had Klay come off the bench for Pods.
Come on. We weren't starting Klay. I mean, there's a reason Klay started the negotiations kind of pissed. That nothing I've read has ever suggested that Klay would still be a starter, would go back to being a starter. The stuff that was being suggested was that Pods was going to be the starter. And I can understand how Klay, being the competitive guy that he is, just wouldn't stand for that. I get it. But it worked out for everybody. I think it worked out for everybody. So I guess, we kind of have that disagreement. I just, and then I think about it based on that, and then just looking at it as, does Pods fit with that? I mean, he's just going to have to. I mean, he's like a connector. He does it all. And I don't want last year's Pods to start. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's going to get better. And he's going to be a Manu Ginobili type to be
and
able
you want him to start?
Be a combo 1-2. I knew you'd say that. Right? Said that. Anyways, thanks for the tip.
No, I agree what you're saying. Being able to do a little bit of everything out there. Rebound, defend, shoot, pass, play make, run off screens. I agree with that. Pods is he's kind of our Swiss Army knife. So I totally understand where you're coming from. I just think right now Melton's a little better of a defender, and I think that's.
And so I just go back to, like, I mean, if you think you're starting Melton, I mean, there's a bunch of beat writers that's going to say no, and I'm just saying that these beat writers, I got to give them credit. Like, they got to know something, and their writing is saying that Pods was going to start in front of Klay. So if Pods was going to start in front of Klay, he's going to start in front of Melton. So again, I'm just using kind of the logic of all that. But you are perfectly welcome to have your own opinion on that. And once we roll the ball out there, heck, it might turn out you're right. But
we'll have to see how this team plays out there, and the preseason especially, I think, will determine a lot of what we do going into opening night, because things have changed, because we don't have Klay now. There's going to be a lot more. And I think this is cool. I think you brought up a very interesting point there, Rich. Is there's going to be a lot of competition for all but one spot or two spots, which is Steph and Draymond, and where Draymond falls into the lineup.
Once again, I disagree. I think Pods is locked.
I'm really?
Not saying he should be. I'm just saying the feel that I get from the beat writers that I respect, Kawakami, Slater, it feels like, I don't want to go and hunt for the words in their articles, but I would be really surprised if Pods wasn't the lock. But I've been wrong. I've been wrong before. So it behooves Steve to make it a competition. So I think it would be good to say, hey, Pods, actually, I don't know we're going to make training camp a situation where you need to win it. So yeah, thinking about it more, I'm gonna side with you that it's gonna it would behoove Steve to make it up for grabs, and he's done that in the past with more lower slots, I think, like for the two-way spots and stuff. So I'm with you on that. That's a good idea.
Oh, thank you. That's kind of what happened with Jordan Poole before Clay's return, too, right?
Yeah.
Jordan Poole competed with some of the other guys out there and won it. And I love what Ion said, not just because of the super chat. Thank you very much, $10.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ion. But also just very, very strength in numbers type and
Smile, Dean. All right, screenshot of that. Thank you, Ion.
thank you. And very strength in numbers type and very like that's the other thing, starting coming off the bench. Kerr, one thing I love about Kerr is that he will give guys opportunities. If you're on the Warriors 1 through 15, at some point you're going to be asked to play. It happened with Guy Santos last year, and so I think we have a real, we still. I'm sounding like a broken record saying this, but I think we have really, really incredible depth and young players, And if, as Rich is suggesting, we can get Markkanen, basically for maybe Wiggins or some combination of Wiggins and something else, or along with picks, and that probably be more of a three-way trade, is what we're thinking, I think. But you add Markkanen to that type of team, and then you start thinking, hey, man, maybe our bad reputation from last year amongst the national media will keep people from really thinking like, oh, this team has a chance, but I don't see a lot of weaknesses, So as long as we play to our strengths, I think this team could be very fun and very competitive.
Okay, Dean, Moody. You get
Moody.
Hield. What happens to Moody now that you got Hield?
Well, you said Anderson was basically our point guard, and Melton was coming off the bench.
Unless Pods loses the battle for starting guard alongside Steph, but yeah.
Well, let's say you're right though, and Pods does start because he is taller, and that secondary to tertiary ball handle alongside Draymond and Steph. So if it's Melton, just kind of size-wise, Melton, Hield, Anderson, and you would imagine Trace. I think you can play Moody more at the 3 and still play Hield in that second unit as the shooting guard. I want to check and make sure I'm not forgetting what would happen with GP2 then.
Well, at some point we got to do the salary cap sheet, and it will tell us what we're doing with GP2 or Looney. It will give us hints, but it may not either. But we'll see on that. Still got some more comments to catch up on.
Definitely. Oh yeah. Bruce is asking, enjoy Utah weather, Moody. The weather in Utah is pretty nice, really. Other than snow, it's generally pretty cool. So, misdirection say, see what you're saying, but if Ben, no, are you talking about Ben Simmons? We're not replacing Draymond Green with Ben Simmons. Sorry, misdirection. Absolutely not. No. But that's okay. Everybody has an opinion that's not quite in the majority, and everybody's got a chance of being right. But Latrell Powell, what's your guys' opinions on coaching staff? We haven't talked about, or I haven't talked about this with you too much.
Oh, Jerry Stackhouse and all that, yeah.
Jerry Stackhouse and
Terry Stotts.
Terry Stotts, yeah.
Wait, did he win a championship with the Bucks? No, he's a Portland guy. He's a Portland guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Budenholzer.
He did go over to the Bucks though after Budenholzer, right? With Adrian Griffin.
Oh, maybe.
Is that right? And they had a falling out, unfortunately. But he's a head coach caliber, and obviously Stackhouse. If there's one thing that's pretty much guaranteed, it's that he'll bring the intensity, and I'm pretty happy about that. I was thinking, Darvin Ham and and Steve Nash, something like that. But yeah, I think I like those moves next to Kerr, especially with Kenny Anderson going to Cleveland. Good question. Thank you. Yeah, that makes me excited to see what kind of new sets might be, or not new sets, but modifications to the old stuff could be run. Devin, is that 8? Yeah, Cagadoc said, I don't think that Hield and Moody will run.
Are you able to promote those comments on your own or no?
No.
Oh, crap. What timestamp?
128.
So we just did this. Oh.
Yep. I don't think Hield and Moody will run into each other's roles too much, anticipating that either Wiggins or Kuminga's gone. I think Moody plays more at 3. Okay. Interesting.
Oh, so I'm back to how many minutes per game, and is Rich Paul going to be okay with that?
Rich Paul's Hield's agent.
Moody's agent.
Oh, Moody's agent. Sorry.
Clutch.
I don't have that encyclopedia memory that you do for agents.
I guess. No, I mean it's just that's been looming in the background. Rich Paul. I guess people don't know that. I guess. But
yeah, I got to disagree with this, Ion. Moody has to go because Steve won't play him. I don't think that's necessarily true. It was difficult last year, because of trying to figure out the shooting guard position and how to get the best out of Klay Thompson. I don't think that's as much of a problem now for Moody. I mean. And I'm not blaming Klay or anything like that. I just, I think Steve Kerr will absolutely play Moses Moody.
Yeah, I don't think Moody has to go, so to speak. We'll do the rundown on the spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he can get a draft pick for? I mean, it may take Moody and Wiggs to get a first rounder in the future, don't you think? Maybe not enough.
No, not necessarily. Simply because I think Wiggins' value has gone under where it should be. It wasn't as high as it was, but it's not as low as like if you traded him for, to another team, you'd be having to give up a pick or something like that, or you'd have to include Moody to get a pick. Like, he's on a very reasonable contract, still an effective player and still, one of the best defensive wings out there. So I'm not saying it's as high as I'd want it to be, Wiggins' value, but I don't think it's as low as people are making out.
Okay. All right, I'm going to rely on you to keep track of the comments because I got to do the spreadsheet. So,
well, Champions Only Football, who was saying we were selling Wolf tickets yesterday, now says trade anyone, but Wiggins, like it or not, he's still our second best player. I'm not sure I agree with that because I think it's pretty obviously Draymond Green, just based on everything that he can do. But I understand a little of the concern about not having that 6'8" athletic two-way win out there. I understand that, but because of the depth on the team and the way we can replicate, a lot of the starting lineups that we've had in the past to some degree with the type of players we have here, I think we'll be okay if we get something valuable in return for Wiggins, like for instance Lauri Markkanen. If that were to go through, I would be very sad because Wiggins, he was huge at that championship. But
all right,
you got to bite the bullet.
I'm doing the spreadsheet now, so here we go. Follow along with me. We will go right here because it used to be Klay Thompson. But first, I don't want to just overwrite this spreadsheet, so let me copy it, duplicate, and let's call it
hey,
Hield work. Okay.
Hey, Rich.
Sure.
SpotCheck has Kyle Anderson's contract as $8,571,429. By the way, rather than strict $9 million. Yep. $8,571,429.
Let me copy that to here and to the old spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet worked over here.
Yeah, Rich has
Okay.
been doing the yeoman's work for you.
This is our sheet here, and this is where we can do all the work and still have a sheet that has before Lauri, this is where this is all going, Markkanen. So I'm going to replace old Klay Thompson slot with Buddy Hield, and it's no longer a veterans minimum, so I will delete that because it is actually Buddy Hield, which is exciting. $9 million, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen the contract come out yet. So
well, it's been reported on. Yeah, it's not on Spot Track yet. Okay, we'll just.
Yeah, I mean this year's contract.
Like
I know
we don't need to be to the dollar. We just need enough to know to get by. And actually, next time I do the spreadsheet, I'll list Buddy underneath D'Anthony because technically D'Anthony Melton makes more, but who cares for now? And this is our current situation. 14 guys under contract. There's Wiggins. This is the team right now. $2 million under the first apron. Does that foot with what you know? I hope so.
So the first apron, it looks like the NBA released its official numbers, and it's $178,132,000, which is
not 178,655.
I think those were projections based off of 141 cap sheet, and the official number is 140,588,000. So it's basically where we're at, and someone. My bird can sing, and your bird can sing, huh? Said he'll at 8,837,209, but I'm not sure where we're getting that number.
I lost you there. Say that one more time. What do I need to replace this spreadsheet cell with?
178, 132.
Exactly.
That's what the NBA released.
When did they release it? June 30th. Okay.
Yep.
So now I've got to copy this value to the other spreadsheets just to be a little bit more exact, but it's going to end up probably wrong at some point anyways. But we're, getting closer and closer to the actual numbers. So we're 1.6 below the apron. At all times, we have to stay below the first apron because we're hard capped there after we paid cash for the 52nd pick. All right, so now
no, that put us under the second. It was signing Melton to the non-tax.
Thank you.
That hard cap us. Yeah.
That's right. Signing Melton using the non-taxpayer mid-level means you're hard capped at the first apron. So that's the reason why. Okay, my bad.
Yep. No, it's complex, man. This is very complex stuff.
Yeah. It's good to get reps like this. It's always reps.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I had a sheet from yesterday that had Lauri, Buddy Hield. So now we are going to copy this sheet, rename the one we just did to with Hield, or Hield no Lauri. And then the new sheet we are going to continue to work on, Hield plus Lauri. Don't pay attention to these other ones. These were all projections from the last time. from like a week ago or 3 days ago. So now we're going to add Lauri to this mix, and we're going to trade out Andrew Wiggins. And also we're going to hope that all the traded player exceptions, all that works out magically. We just need to look at what our salary structure is with Lauri in there. And Dean, if you could answer questions by typing them in while we're doing this so we don't get too far behind, just answer people's questions as needed. Put in Lauri, put in 34 million, because we think this is all under the guise of getting Lauri. We wouldn't go through the trouble of having Buddy Hield come here for only 9 million and so on and so forth with Melton and Anderson. So where are we with this being 34 million? We are 6 million over the first apron. I wish I could make that red. I don't know how to do that, but it's accounting with the parentheses means you're minus. So we're over the first apron. So we've got to shed $6 million. Right, Dean?
Yep. We have to. There's no way
Moody is too small. Good. Moody's contract is too small, although you could still send him out and figure out a way. But it's going to probably going to be some kind of a traded player exception that we don't know about yet, combined with who knows, or it could really mean that GP2 or Looney gets traded out to get off of those salaries, right, Dean?
Yeah, since it's only 6 million, there's a couple of different ways that you might go about it, but we'll have to see what it is the Jazz want in return for salary matching.
Okay.
Also, thank you, Ian, for another $10 donation. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
At 1:37 p.m.
Let me
let you know where that is.
Let me just peek at what the established 2-year veterans minimum is. 2,093,000. So if I replace both Gary, worst case scenario for us longtime Warriors fans, Gary and Looney are gone. These are veterans minimum. So vet min. Let's copy that. And hang tight. And I'll just kind of go was Kevin Looney. Come on, Looney, Kevin. Was Gary Payton. How are we looking here? 6.7 over the first apron. All right.
Well,
so
we're 6.7 under.
Oh, my bad. 6.7 under. We're good. We're good because there's no parentheses here.
Oh, Shivansh is asking why 34 for Lauri when it looks like it's 18.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Take that one.
Yeah, so to get his possible max extension next season, he has to be making Rich 33.125.
Oh, yeah. So I'm rounding up. It's 33 million something.
Mm-hmm.
And also, sorry about this. I don't really know how the actual transaction is going to work, right? Because he's going to come in at 18. Like, let's just fill it in with 18. He's going to come in at 18 and then. So this, I got to put Gary Payton back at 9. How many zeros I got? One more. Okay, we can. Yeah, I don't know how that transaction's going to actually work to obtain Markkanen, but I just know that when the season starts, this has to be 34 or no, by August 6th.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
By August 6th, Markkanen's number here has to be 34 million. So that's what I'm looking at, kind of the end product, not the actual day of the transaction. I don't know how that works. That's complicated.
Right.
But
So I think it's that.
Let them know why it's. Did you say why already? My fault.
Yeah, it's to get the max contract
Right.
that would be available to him after this upcoming season. It has to be about 34 million or just a little under that. And
so,
what?
Yeah, the max he can make is like 46 million on his extension after that. So
That's right.
2026, 2025, 2026 is the first year of that one.
Yeah, and TF Mills, if he renegotiates his contract with Utah, he can't be traded until next offseason.
Yes, good point.
Because it's a 6-month limit for that, and that takes you to the trade deadline. It's February 6th this year.
Could he renegotiate it like right now?
No, I think it has to be August 6th.
Okay.
They can't negotiate it until then, which is why this trade talks could take some time, or they could be quick. But yeah, it can't be until August 6th.
And that's one of the reasons why Markkanen is on the trading block, really. I mean, not only does the Utah Jazz have urgency to rebuild this team with a lot of great draft picks a la OKC blueprint, but also with Lauri, if he's going to want to renegotiate that contract, because it's going to, that's why you're an all-star in the NBA. You want to maximize your value. And with Ainge, if he does that, then he becomes untradeable for Ainge. So then he's kind of like stuck with them.
Literally, you're not allowed to trade him.
Yeah. So 46 million, 34 million for the rest of the year. And then Ainge wouldn't be allowed to trade him. So if a good offer came up in February, well, there wouldn't be any offers in February, but like you're taking him off of the market and unable to trade him at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so that takes away optionality as a GM.
That does, yeah. Especially the other thing is, if you have him on the team and you play him, you're not really going to be able to tank the way that you probably want to. Like, he's not good. He probably doesn't want to be on that again. And the Jazz would. What's up, Bloomer? Also, I like Splash Buddy. It's a little sad because he's Bahamian, like Klay, but I'm glad we got him. But in terms of what the Jazz would like to do, I think that is one reason that it's giving Rich and I hope that that they will be willing to move him. Now, whether it's to the Warriors or not, that's where we have to think about what the Dubs can offer the Jazz in terms of the trade. I know a lot of people on here are saying, do trade this guy, don't trade that guy. Me and Rich are trying to figure out what Ainge wants, but we're both willing to kind of do what it takes to go get him. Oh, you want DeRozan instead? First, he didn't want to come here to the Warriors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When did he say that?
That was last offseason, or I think it was last offseason when the Warriors went after him, and he was like, I want to go to the Dubs. Yeah. No, that was last offseason. Things change, but like Chris Paul came to the Warriors, so you never know. But the thing is,
sorry about that. I'm to myself.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, okay. The thing is, I don't think DeRozan really fits in the Warriors system, as well as a guy like Markkanen is. And for no other reason than you don't want a guy to come in and not do what he's not play to his strengths. And you don't really want to change the system around Steph too much. And DeRozan, he wants to the ball in in the mid range, to ISO, and to hold on to it for a little while. Let back up and take some time. And I'm not saying that can't work, but I think Markkanen's just more of an off ball scorer type play finisher guy. So that's why I'm so interested in him. Said on a podcast. Okay, cool. It was 2019. Dray tried hard. It was 2019? Oh, I thought it was more recent than that. But I'll trust you, Shivansh. DeMar's a walking bucket. Yeah, but okay. So is Markkanen. Trade Green, Looney, Moody. We have Kyle Anderson replacing. Get Lauri. Jab. We're not trading Draymond. Come on now. Zach LaVine. I would love having Zach LaVine on the team because of buckets. Just that contract. We can't. You're giving up too much in depth. To meet the 43, 45, 47 million, whatever it is. 43, 46, 49, something like that. Oh, it was 3 seasons ago. And yeah, it looks like DeRozan going to Miami, which that, the type of system they have built around Jimmy Butler, that makes a lot of sense because it's, it's not overlapping, but it's replicable skill sets offensively between those two.
Oh, one thing. So we got a question is like Miles Bridges coming here? I mean, there's nobody else coming here, guys. It's Lauri or bust. I mean, like, that's why I said in the previous video, this is going to happen. I really do think we're getting Lauri. It's just a matter of time and work. You don't just get Lauri by snapping your fingers. You have to work the phones. You have to find the value. But I have to believe that we're pretty close, because then why would we go through all this? Like, what is the point? We're going to get Buddy Hield, Anthony Melton, Kyle Anderson to get Miles Bridges, or to keep Wiggins, everything points to actually getting Markkanen. And you got Monty Poole out there saying the Warriors are aggressively pursuing Lauri. They're all in. Of course they're all in. The salary cap sheet tells you they're all in for Lauri. And so if we're all in, it's just like yesterday's metaphor where we're doing the punt return. We're running. We're at the 50-yard line. We're at the 20. Something could come by. Some guy could tackle us at the 3-yard line. Yeah, that's possible.
We're going for it, though.
Yeah, we're going for this touchdown. There is no other explanation. So keep that in mind, and you can be excited about that. But at the same time, we're not the only franchise that's been blindsided by something last minute. You never know. You can go back to the Warriors almost had Kevin Garnett day, where I think maybe it was Chris Mullin, the GM at the time, did the trade, and then all of a sudden we're stuck with the whoever we picked. I forgot his name. Patrick O'Brien, was that him? No, it was the other guy. But anyways, you trade out what was it, Jason Richardson, something like that. So you move all the pieces to get ready for that, and it doesn't work. But I think GMs are generally better nowadays, and I would like to think Dunleavy and the Lacob family, dad and son, I would like to think they know what they're doing. Not that Chris Mullin didn't know what he was doing. In fact, it was really hard to manage the Warriors back then. And for us to even have a shot at Kevin Garnett way back when, that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know about that there was a possibility Garnett went to the Warriors.
Oh, man. And the news of that never came out for like 10 years or something like that. It was a long time.
Yeah. Crazy. I know he almost went to the Lakers too, which, I mean, the NBA was probably, quietly saying, we have Kobe and Garnett on the same team. Like, there's going to be, we're going to have to protect players, egos kind of from the kind of stuff they would talk to them. But,
hey, back to so TF Mills, I don't know if he knows stuff, but like he can renegotiate now. I'm still a little confused by that whole August 6th date. So how does that resonate with you there, Dean?
I'm not sure what he means by the difference between renegotiate and extension. They're linked to me in my mind. I might be wrong about that. There's a lot of moving parts. They're the same thing. They're the exact same thing.
Yeah, which extension do you? Yeah, it's not the rookie max. He's not a rookie though. 7. Is there a term for a guy like Lauri getting that $46 million max? What's that $46 million contract?
So
that's an extension
on Hoops Rumors. They have maximum salaries 6 years or fewer, 35.2, basically 7 to 9 years, 42.2, 10 plus years, 49.2. Now we know that Jason Tatum has not played 10 years in the NBA, and he signed $63 million per year on average. My guess is that Markkanen has, by becoming an all-star, someone asked if it was last year. It wasn't. It was 2023. He was an all-star when it was in Utah, which Rich got me into, got me a credential. And thank you for that. That was amazing. Got to see
that's easy to remember. When Markkanen was an all-star, it was when Utah was the host.
Exactly. And hey, all-star game in San Francisco, February 25, that could be what if he's there too, that'd be awesome. So anyway, I think because of that all-star appearance, there might be some incentives and things like that would allow the team to go above what the max salaries say on Hoops Rumors. But yeah, I don't see how you can renegotiate. Like in the NFL, I know you can do this, and a lot of people are football fans and think you can do that in the NBA. You can't renegotiate a contract without having an extension that not only obviously lengthens the years, but also increases salary. It has to be longer than the contract you have, and the salary has to increase. So I hope I answered your question with that one.
Wait. Yeah. The August 6th thing is a renegotiation. I wouldn't call that an extension, right? Because you're getting a raise.
Yeah.
So to use the word extension for the August 6th thing, I don't think that's right. The extension that a guy like Lauri is drooling over, that's the 46 million one. That's the one to go from 34 million to 46 million. And what, 5 years out, or is it 4 years?
I think if it's max, it can be 5.
It's basically
no, you're right. You're right. There is a distinction, because we would be adding onto an old contract and then giving him a max. Well, but it would be negotiating a max extension based off of his old contract, but they're not quite the same thing. There's 2 negotiating periods there. Yeah, I think that's true.
2 negotiating periods.
So one of them is to get up to 34.
Right.
And then I think you add the max extension onto that new contract, which you increased.
So you do that at the same time?
No, that's what I mean. There's 2 of them.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So it'll be after the season, you go back with Markkanen and add on to that 34 is how I'm pretty sure that this works.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that's kind of the agreement for him to be traded here.
Yeah, and TF Mills is saying after Lauri's contract hits 3 years old, whoever can renegotiate. If he's traded here, we would get his bird rights because it's the same contract with bird rights that got traded to Golden State. And bird rights are what allow you to do what you're saying, the 3 years. That's what bird rights are, is to keep your players, even if you don't have a mid-level or whatever, to pay them extra money into the tax or what, second apron or whatever we're talking about.
All right.
Thank you for the clarification.
I screwed up not paying attention to the comments. I was just stuck on that and just kind of thinking out loud on all this stuff. Okay, so that's the long-winded answer on why Markkanen would bump it. No. I mean, we had to go through that just for my own understanding as well. And I probably got to go through this a couple more times to understand it and have confidence with it. Okay.
Yeah, me too, man. This is very complex stuff.
Yeah. What's next?
Otney said, watch for Lindy Waters at 36X. If he can consistently be a 40% three-point shooter, watch out. Yeah, we were excited about him coming over because of those things, and obviously, on a very, 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 value for your money kind of contract. I think we're pretty excited about the team that we have. So thanks for the positivity for Lindy Waters.
I want to check. Yossi Goslin, 2 hours ago when this deal went down, sounds like Klay Thompson's sign-in trade featuring Dallas and Charlotte will now expand to include Philadelphia and Minnesota. The Warriors can acquire both Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson at $9 million starting salaries for Thompson's outgoing amount. Cool.
Nice. So it was a 4-team trade?
At the first apron. I guess.
Oh,
to make all
Warriors, Mavericks, Timberwolves, and Sixers, right? Yeah.
There's Charlotte in there, right?
Oh, and Charlotte. Yeah, right. Charlotte. I forgot about that.
They did Josh Green.
Josh Green, yeah. So it's a 5-team trade. I was wondering how they got Hield with $9 million. I thought, because I didn't know, I didn't want to bring it up. Because I'm trying not to.
Number as Yossi Goslin. Whoa, 178.1 right here. Sorry.
Nice. No, absolutely. Hey, when you get stuff right, look, basketball, you have to really pay attention to the game to know what's going on, but you don't need a law degree to figure out, hey, that guy was in the wrong position. This stuff is crazy. It feels great when you get something that is confirmed, by other even more knowledgeable cap people than yourself, So Hield, Anderson, Melton just doesn't. Well, what do you think about that, Rich? Coop said, Coop said, I agree with you. I hope we're doing all this for Lauri Markkanen, because if we're doing all this just for Hield, Anderson, and Melton, it doesn't make sense. That's kind of a little bit what Rich was saying. It's more that Hield, Anderson, and Melton doesn't make sense if we're not doing it for Markkanen. But what do you think?
Isn't that what Coop is saying? That's what Coop is saying. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah, he's saying that.
Yep.
There's a question from Boomer.
Yep. So Boomer said,
do the StreamYard and the YouTube at the same time. I can see more comments on YouTube than StreamYard, so I keep going back and forth, and then I lose track. And then it takes me a while to find the actual comment to put on the screen. But if we just look at the spreadsheet right here, I guess it depends, because if we get, and I'm on the wrong spreadsheet, Hield plus Lauri. Let's assume we get Lauri. I guess maybe. I mean, maybe someone can make the team. It depends on what we're doing with Gary Payton's contract and Looney. We'll see.
Yeah.
Too early to tell, I guess. Let's wait till we get Lauri. Hopefully.
I would say the one guy I think could go in a really large, he's on a spectrum from possibly being a rotation player to in the summer league to maybe being, a G League kind of guy for a lot of the years, is probably QP. It's probably Quentin Post. I'm hoping he's a rotation player, of course. But I think that would be the guy I'm looking at who's not signed to, who's not on a full NBA contract right now, who's on the team. Pat Spencer and Beekman, possibly, very possibly, but I'm most interested in QP. But we'll have to see in the summer league. I hate to say that, but it's true. We'll just have to watch and see how they play. Yeah. So what does Steph winning a 5th title say about Thompson's legacy? It says the exact same thing that Thompson winning a 5th title on the Mavericks without Steph says about his. They're great players. If the Warriors win another title, with Steph, then obviously we have, I guess if we won the title, we'd have the best team in the league. And it's just,
why are you worried about that stuff? Who cares?
Yeah, and also like Klay he's on a different team now. We're competing against him, but he's not like a competitor. You know what I mean? It's not like Steph's going to look at that like LeBron winning his 5th ring or something with that. Like, I gotta. Nah, man, Klay's a splash bro. He's a Warrior for life, champion for life, and yeah, I think if we won and Klay weren't here, I still, I wish Klay would have stayed, but I still understand what Klay's doing, and he's still next to 3 Hall of Famers, and on the Western Conference champs. So, yeah, I'm okay with their legacies as they are right now, because man, there are teams that don't have 4 titles, really good teams like the Heat and the Pistons. They don't have 4 championships. Those guys won 4 together in 13 seasons. It's amazing. 11, really. Yeah. Yeah, winner. Stop trying to start drama. I agree with that. But mostly winner. That's both of their legacies. Oh, your sister lives in Dallas. So you could have some family connection with Klay still. That's great. Great for you, Bloomer. Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Oh boy. Yeah.
What?
Let's address this. See, that's where it's fun to talk about certain guys on social media. I saw Seth Curry's name come up.
Yeah.
I guess he's a free agent or something.
Mm-hmm. He is.
But like, if you do the spreadsheet work and you look at this stuff, he's a free agent, and can he be gotten by a team out there for the veteran minimum would be the question, because that's all we can do. If Looney or GP2 were to vacate their spots.
There still is the BAE, biannual exception.
Thank you. The BAE is the?
Yeah.
People don't know what that is.
Yeah. Oh, the biannual exception. Yep.
Which is?
And it's it can only be used once every 2 years.
And it's how much?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have it memorized? Shame on you. No, I'm kidding. I don't have it memorized either. That's why I was asking you.
Oh, I'm on the
biannual exception. Let's go Google it. NBA, BAE. Let's see if they have the Bay up there. Click on hoops. Oh, God.
Oh, I got it. It for you. It's 4,668,000 for this year. 4,901,400 for next year.
4.7 million. So,
yep.
Can Seth Curry be had for that? I would just go to Spot Track. Now, what's not going for him is that Buddy Hield just got a contract worth $9 million, and that is pretty low. So if you were to put that as a comparable for Seth as a fellow two guard, then he made $8 million, 4 years at $32 million.
Yep.
So yeah, maybe you could get him on a BAE.
So I think the question is, does Seth want to be in Steph's?
Oh, yeah. Wait, I'm just going, first of all, transactionally, because if transactionally we weren't able to get Seth, then there's no use talking about it. But the mechanism by which we could get him here is, and the 4.7 fits below the first apron here. So that works. You have to get off Looney and GP2.
Yep.
And would he accept 4.7? Yeah, I could see him accepting it. So now you get into is it a good fit? And I would agree with you. I don't know that he ever wanted to play, quote unquote, in the shadow of Steph.
Again, he did play with.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much like in the shadow. Just like, do you want to be, do you want to be on this team, or do you want to try and compete against your big brother? That's just a human nature thing. I do think he's had enough experience, and people know him as his own player enough where it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But Meloji, okay, for bird rights, one needs to be on the 2+ years on the team without changing. That's without signing with a different team. If you trade a player's contract, you can trade those bird rights to that team, like what happened with Andrew Wiggins, for instance.
Wow, good having you here for that, Dean.
Yeah,
it's like
anytime, man.
You love bird rights. I think it's your Larry Bird bias. I don't know.
Larry Bird bias.
No, you're totally. Oh no, you love Larry Bird. So.
Yeah, Bird is great. Magic too, though. Magic's amazing. Magic rights. We got to get Steph some magic rights, man.
Bruce admits he is bitter about Klay. You're still bitter? I'm over it now. I'm good. Bruce is bitter.
I listened to "Forever Young" by Bob Dylan, not the Jay-Z song, although that one's good too. And just thought about all Klay's memories and watched the 2019 Game 6 highlights and or Klay coming back to shoot those free throws and watched him return. And we just watched Klay, in the finals when we did those rewatches a couple weeks back. And man, it was enough for me to know that I can go back to that moment emotionally, psychologically, in my mind. And I mean, I'm not acting like I have. I'm not acting like I'm the team or anything like that, but I'm definitely going to keep my eye out, thinking about any way that we can get Klay back, after the Dallas stint, because I think that'd be really fun. But the Buddy Hield trade has already gone through, yes, or at least it's been announced officially by Woj, who, I don't know, maybe the NBA needs to make these guys like a verbal agreement, is binding. If Woj announces it, man, you got to pay an extra couple bucks to go back or something.
Here's a question.
But basically, Hield's on the team. Yeah. Mhm.
Is there like a special date that's coming up, like July 6th? What's July 6th? What is that?
What do you mean?
I don't know. July 6th is a special date out there on. I thought you knew, so now we'll just Google it.
July 6th?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think it's when all this stuff has to be officially signed. I think all the free agent stuff.
Just the free agent stuff.
I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I guess it doesn't really matter when the Markkanen thing gets done.
Well, other than August 6th, yeah.
Right. So sometime between now and August 6th. I guess.
That's right.
I get it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, Ainge could very well play this out till about that day if he feels that he can he and Zanuck can get a better asking price or the players that they want, which is kind of what he did with the Gobert deal. That was on the table for a long time, I think. After the season ended.
That sucks.
He kept pushing the Timberwolves, pushing. Well, the longer it goes, the more I think the Warriors have a chance, though. You know, because if we're the main aggressors and it keeps going longer and longer, it's less likely that other teams will jump in and you know want to shake up the roster. Although you never know. You can always get blindsided by anything in life. That's the only thing you can't get blindsided by, is that you will be at some point, you know. Hopefully not literally, but well, it happens.
Learning so much about this whole Lauri deal.
Hey, you know his nickname in Utah?
No.
The Finisher.
That's good.
I also like On the Mark, you know, or the Marksman. He's got some good stuff, man. Christian Leon said, Klay coming out of the tunnel for free throws in 2019 after tearing his ACL lives in my heart forever. He was there beating his chest. When he came out, it made me feel beautiful things. Yeah. Running back on defense. What a crazy dude, man. Kobe, you know? Watch the video, but do you personally think we get Lauri? Yeah, Rich is very convinced of that, and I have to agree with him just because of how intense the pursuit has been. Uns.
Oh, cool. Meluge.
Yep. I thought it was Miloje.
No, Meluge. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Again, this stuff is really, you need, like, basically we're doing our best to explain and to understand and explain something where if you really want to get a job, you kind of need to be able to be at a law degree to understand this stuff. Seriously. I mean, you know, not just the rules, but also all the knock-on effects and you know the implications of everything happening. Implications. for all you It's Always Sunny fans. But man, it's sure fun trying to. I think one of the most fun things, to me at least, is like not just understanding it, but trying to predict, like, oh, okay, where are we going from here then? You know. Oh, people being unfair to Slow-Mo? What are you talking about, Boomer? Who was?
Oh, you like Walker Kessler, right? New York Knicks showing interest per Mike Scotto of Hoops Hype.
Yeah, I'd heard that. That makes sense considering Hartenstein left.
Oh, that was 2 days ago. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense considering Hartenstein left and Kessler's at, like, I think he's under $3 million for the year. But yeah, I understand what the Knicks are looking at with that. The only problem is Kessler didn't go to Nova. Where did he go anyway? He went to UNC and Auburn. That's it. Yeah, we gave Philly a second-round pick in 2031. That's right. And also to get Anderson, I think it was a second-round pick swap, which I've never heard of before, but that's pretty incredible. For Markanen, Warriors would lose Wiggins, but definitely involves 3 or 14 trade. Yes, we're in agreement on that, I think. I mean,
which one? Tell me the timestamp.
Yeah, that's Otney 218.
218.
Yep. We'll have to see if there's more noise about what Ainge wants. And this is the second time, though, that Markkanen has had a price of 5 first-round draft picks or whatever put out there in the media, So I think we have a little bit better understanding than if he was the first-time trade rumor, big, lot of news on trade rumors kind of guy. But, yeah, I think we're in agreement on that. And right underneath that comment, Tarantonasis said, how slow-mo will fit in fast phase of dubs? That's a very interesting way of asking that question, very alliterative.
Wait, what stamp?
It's right underneath Otney. 219. Yeah.
Oh, this guy's been throwing all kinds of funny comments. All right, how slow? He wants Thanasis. Is that you, Thanasis? Want to come to Warriors? But anyways, slow-mo will fit in. Oh, okay. If you want to answer that, sure, go ahead.
I guess I do see kind of a Sean Livingston connection there, and we have needed guys who are good half-court players, and I think Anderson's a very good half-court player, really. It's not always the worst thing on a fast-paced team to have a trailer come later once you get the ball up the court. I think his shooting, his rebounding, his passing, all that kind of stuff will be well utilized. And in terms of fast-paced nature of the Dubs, I don't think he'll limit the rest of the players out there. Although it will be a slight adjustment, but it's not going to be like a weakness. Oh, thank you for the $5, Harry Negron.
Yeah,
Warriors are going to be part of Lauri.
Yeah, I did. We did the live stream. Was it yesterday? I've lost track of time. 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? When did we do?
I think it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yeah. I have no boundaries of days. It's just linear. And,
yeah, man.
And I did this video early this morning. And yeah, so I do think we will get Lauri, although I'm really tired right now, so that means that I'm I have a little less adrenaline pumping about it. But Buddy Hield coming here for $9 million, man, single-digit millions. And then Melton coming here. I thought there might be other teams with a non-taxpayer mid-level that he could go to. I don't know. I haven't looked at all 30 team situations with their salary cap sheets. And then with Kyle Anderson also coming here for $9 million, which is a tiny bit of a pay cut from Minnesota. He made over $9 million. And so all of those factors, and then looking at the roster with those guys, knowing that Wiggins would probably have to be traded if you brought in Lauri, thinking that maybe Wiggins is being shopped around for some draft picks to satisfy Ainge's needs on the draft pick side of things, because he's probably stockpiling draft picks. Somebody commented, comments, oh, they have 11 draft picks already. Why would they want that? Dude, have you looked at OKC's stockpile? Like, he's like halfway there. So
they have almost as many, I think, first rounders as OKC does now. It's the question is, hey, if you could add a certain number of strikes when you're at the baseball mound, or when you're at the plate, if you could only be out in 6 rather than 3, wouldn't you do that? Like, it's swings at the ball here, not the number of players that you get. You know what I mean?
All right.
Found a photo of Kyle Anderson as a young man with a Mitch Richmond jersey.
Let's send it to the we just go to Instagram for that. We don't need to go to the platform that doesn't like us for that. Dean, everybody hates us, Dean, please.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I know you're on the team now, and it's like, oops, everybody hates you. So to market for people that hate us, I let them figure out how to market themselves. But yeah, unfortunately, if someone's out there,
I got you, Rich.
That's from there, hey, you're the ones that don't like me. So
it's the same with us, Coop. With stuff like this, I really get stuck on the topic and I can't stop thinking about it. Yeah, that's
why we're hoping to give you the positive thinking of it, so you can, instead of thinking a bad thing all the time, like Bruce did with Klay. No, I'm just kidding. I also did that. I was bitter at Klay for like a day and a half, 2 days. I'm good now, but we want to turn that negative energy into positive. Just flip it around, just like Steph would say, flip it on its head. So overall,
he loves that phrase. That's great.
Oh, Bruce, I really do need that Starbucks, because deep down inside, I am very excited. Although you brought up a great point, Dean, it needs to be repeated. Okay. Ainge could drag this out. He really could. He could drag it out.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Yeah, thanks a lot, Dean.
No, I don't think it affects whether the Warriors will be able to get him. Just when.
I think at the end of the day, I do think it's more on our side, because the guys that did the podcast, do I still have it here? The Monty Show. Oh crap, I don't. Well, Twitter.com, the Monty Show. They got criticized by Warriors Twitter. I don't know why, but I watched their video here somewhere, and one of the things they said is like, Ainge, he most likely is like, I just have a list of things you need to accomplish, a list of draft picks, okay, for you to get Lauri. So go and get it. Go along, go get it done, and when you got it, I'll be right here waiting for it. So he's kind of stubborn in that respect. That's the thinking of these guys that know Ainge better than we do. Although, Dean, you know him pretty well, being from Utah.
He only was there a few years though now, so it's not like the Celtics. Obviously, they have years and years and years of knowledge, but certainly Ainge is one of those guys who he goes into a trade listening, but already knowing what he wants. Some other guys, like I think Bob Myers is that way. Let's talk and see what's and I'm not saying either approach is better than the other or right or anything like that. It's just different. Oh, you got another super chat. Thank you, Devin.
Thanks, Devin. What do you say?
With Lauri, with Lauri is a thing where the longer it takes, the less likely it will happen. I don't think so.
You just said the opposite, which I loved that you said that.
Oh, okay.
Explain that one more time, since Devin got on.
So I think the longer that it takes, the more the Warriors are in a good position, in particular, because it seems like the reports are that we're being the aggressors. We want this. And also, if I'm being completely honest, because if we had a package to the Clippers that Paul George was willing to accept, I think whatever that package was is a strong chance of influencing, of getting Lauri from the Jazz. The longer it goes, the more likely it is the Warriors are gathering, as Rich said, what Ainge is asking for to get that trade done. All right, Shivansh, 3 a.m. there, gonna doze off. Listen to you guys' podcast. Oh, thank you.
I was up at 3 a.m. doing this video right here. By the way, there's another interesting comment. I can't find it. Oh, Spurs have the Hawks draft picks, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, okay, yeah. So they may have the ability to check off a lot of the boxes that Ainge wants checked off. But I think the Spurs want to make those picks.
The Spurs picks are less valuable than ours too, because if you put Markkanen and Wemby together, you are likely to have a winning team over the long run compared to betting after Steph's contract too. You know, on the Warriors picks and pick swaps. Also, I don't think if push came to shove, they can offer the same level of young talent as players as the Warriors can.
If that's the thing, that you put it the right way, is that if push comes to shove, we do have JK and B pods.
Mm-hmm.
If push comes to shove, let's hope it doesn't come to shove. But then again, the guys that run that podcast, the Money Show, they're more like, Ainge just has a list of things he wants you to accomplish. So just do the list. And I don't know that Kuminga and Podziemski are on that list per se, right? I think it's really just draft picks. Oh, and I did it in this video, but I went and looked at what draft picks we have. Would you have that memorized by any chance, Dean? I think you might, actually.
What draft picks we have in the future?
Yeah, what can we trade?
That's a little different.
Danny.
We have all of our first-round draft picks except for a swap in 2031 or in 2030, I believe. Yeah.
Wait. So I looked at that chart. It's easily findable if you Google it. In fact, let's just do it for good measure. What is this? These are cap sheets. Okay. Let me skip the Warriors one. Let's go remaining draft picks, Warriors. Fanspo, there we go. Your favorite.
Yep.
So we can trade we can't trade 2025 because we traded for 2024, right? Can't do it
right.
2 years in a row. Stepien rule.
Yep. We have to have a draft. Or we have to get another pick back for this next year. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. So then we're talking about picks now. On what picks we have to trade to Ainge. Not 2025 due to Stepien. And then so we have 2026, 2028. Again, can't do it consecutively. 2026, 2028, but we don't have 2030. No first rounder there.
That's right, because it was part of the Chris Paul to the Warriors for JP and BP and all those kind of guys.
Or Poole, Ryan Rollins, Patrick Baldwin Jr.
Yeah, I'm looking at Pro Sports Transactions as well. I put the link in the chat for you guys to look
Oh,
at.
cool. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Too?
Sorry?
Oh, feature. Oh, okay. Wow.
It's really detailed and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing is that we have pick swaps, where I think those would be still fairly valuable, where the Jazz can choose to. So if they had, let's say, the 30th pick and it was an unprotected pick swap, and the Warriors got the first pick, you still wouldn't violate the stepping rule because you still have a first round draft pick, but the Jazz could come in and switch. Like now we get, even though we're the number one team, we get the first pick and you get the 30th. That's an extreme version without any protections and anything like that. But pick swaps are still can still be quite valuable.
Okay.
As well. So I wouldn't worry too much about the stepping rule.
Okay. Okay. Have you gotten a handle, your arms around how valuable those are? Because it's relatively a new thing. Whoever came up with that, pretty genius.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been around. How valuable the Warriors swaps might be, or just swaps in general?
Swaps in general, yeah. It's hard to say.
I mean, it depends on the protections, really. I would say, an unprotected swap is pretty much as good as a top 4 protected pick in a lot of ways, because if it doesn't transfer, it can roll over and things like that, just like a draft pick. And if you're betting on those picks being valuable, you're also betting on that team being bad. So a swap in this case, is not too much of a hindrance. Whereas for like when the Bucks got or when they tried to get Bogdanovic, their swaps coming off that title would not have been all that valuable, because you expected the Bucks to be good for the next 4 years, which it's almost been that now, or it has been that now. So it all depends. It all depends on where you think that franchise is going. But it's largely the same for draft picks too, I would say. Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
Got a paper airplane Klay bobblehead. Nice.
My head's about to explode on all those draft picks draft swap pick swaps and protections, and golly.
It's the hardest thing to predict is what the protections on pick are going to be. I don't even do it. I just think this one, this one, this one's a pick, this one's a swap, this one's a pick. Whatever the protections are, I don't know.
I would have to hire one person, one very smart college grad, to follow one pick swap and one protection thing, just because it's so complicated. You might screw up. You're just focused on that. Do one thing. That is your job.
Yeah, really.
Oh, we should say goodnight to Shivansh, listening to us podcast style, because I actually left a comment, and then in the comment I said, wait, you're never going to read this, are you?
What'd you say?
But have fun dozing off to Dean's voice, because Dean's got that calm,
thank you, Rich.
The calm, soothing voice.
Yeah, you'll wake up with salary cap numbers and draft swaps in your head, man. But that's not a bad place.
Definitely have Lauri in your dreams too, because not a bad thing to think about that too. And man, do you think we should do a rewatch of his 20-point, 14-rebound effort on us, Dean?
Why not? Let's do it.
Wow, cool. I'll look it up. How many days do we have before they can finalize a trade? How many days do we have? Well, if the question is when.
Well, you can do it until February if there's no extension, but it's basically August 6th.
Yeah. It's going to be done by August 6th. Let's put it that way, which isn't a satisfying answer, but mathematically and transactionally, that is the case. I mean, is it really August 5th, though, Dean, or how? That's where
I don't know.
Actually,
I don't know when on August 6th that has to be done.
You know what? The closer we get to that, the more Slater will tell us all the details.
Yeah, we'll get info. Data. Can I make bricks without clay?
What was that?
Data. I can't make bricks without clay. It's a Sherlock Holmes quote.
Yeah, no idea what you're talking about there. It's okay.
What do you mean? You don't know Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, I know Sherlock Holmes, but no idea what reference you're making.
No, it's just that you can't really theorize without having enough facts or without having more and more information.
All right. Next live. It's less than 48 hours. I can't believe I'm saying that. Maybe I should just sleep until then. But yeah, I think that pretty much does it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us, the 200 people that did.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think you have every right to be excited about Lauri Markkanen becoming a Warrior in the next month or so. Because everything points in that direction, especially today's contract. Out of Hield, Melton, and Anderson, to me, this one is the most surprising because Buddy Hield once made more than $20 million. He made how much did he make last year? I think it's 19 million.
Buddy Hield last year?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like 28.
Oh, let me just quickly do a spot track on the other screen. Buddy Hield, and I'll give you the answer. It was a part of a 4-year, $94 million contract. So yeah, that comes out to 20.
Average salary 23.5.
23.5. Spot track doesn't give you the exact year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. 23. I mean, he made 23.5 on average. And then now you're going down to single digits, 9 million in the first year. Good Lord.
Okay, so he made 19.9 about last year.
Okay.
It was a declining contract.
20 mil, and then now he's going to
take
more than half of that. $9 million contract. To me, that's the most surprising one out of the three. So then you kind of go, why would you do that? I mean, you're a free agent. Of course, Philly doesn't mind.
Almost half.
Philly doesn't mind doing this sign and trade because they'd rather do that, just like Klay for us. They'd rather do that than lose Buddy Hield for nothing, because Buddy Hield could go to another team, not the Warriors, as an unrestricted free agent.
That's right.
Maybe there weren't some great offers out there, maybe not. But it is surprising that KCP gets 22 million, Klay gets 17 million, and Buddy Hield gets 9 million. I'm happy because it's the Warriors and it helps our salary cap table. But
definitely does. That's right.
That's like really a sign to me that things are progressing, that he has confidence to sign with the Warriors because we're going to have like a championship caliber roster. And the only way we have a championship caliber roster is if Markkanen's on it. So that's my logic. And
no, it does make sense. I still think, if that weren't to happen, it's not like the season's a loss, but it seems like Markkanen is the best and closest way to get to what we want to put around Steph.
And then people go,
I don't call that here.
Do we want do they want JK? Do they want no? Ainge keeps saying it. Ainge wants picks. from what we know, we don't have any sources. Nobody really does. They're making educated guesses. So we're
That's
just rehashing what those educated guesses are. And it makes sense. Because if they wanted JK and not picks, and it was like absolute, like, and Ainge preferred JK over picks, the deal would be done already. But we wouldn't have JK.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Or Lacob really covets JK, which is fine. But I think the confidence of Lacob telling Hield, telling Melton, telling Anderson that, hey, look for yourself what progress we made. We think we're getting Lauri. So we hope you can come to our team based on that. And they're like, Buddy Hield's probably like, or his agent's like, okay, yeah, I buy that. I think you are getting Markkanen, so we're coming. So that's kind of the logic in that. So don't think Ainge really wants JK. He wants picks. Hoard like OKC, baby. That's the way to do it these days. OKC proved it. So you just follow that blueprint. Yeah, Hield doesn't have great defense. But still, that's a precipitous drop in the contract value from Klay at 7. Is Klay the best defender? I mean, I guess he can still guard fours, and Hield has been heavily criticized about his defense. But yeah, still, that's a big gap from 17 million to 9.
It is. It's a great sign that the Warriors are still an attractive place for guys to come to. And obviously Hield has a bit of connection with Northern California, had been drafted by the Kings and played for the Kings for a long time. I think it's a good sign that all these guys wanted to come here. Just because you don't want to be a team with a superstar at the level of Steph Curry and not be an attractive free agent destination. You just don't want to be in that position. It doesn't seem like we are.
All right. I think we're going to go now. Did you want to say anything on that last point, which I commented on, which is they just asked me hypothetically, if it were you, would you actually trade JK in it? You know what? I'd trade JK and BP. Go ahead. I want Markkanen. Yep. I want Markkanen, and we built the roster around him. We got Melton, we got Hield, we got Kyle. Let's go. Let's go. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Well, we're waiting for Danny Ainge, and we're waiting for the Warriors to get what Danny Ainge wants, whatever that is. So that's what I say. What do you say, Dee?
As I said last time, and this is kind of my blanket statement on it, I think Markkanen is a good enough player where outside of Steph and Dray, and all those guys, the duo, I guess they are now.
Yeah.
As long as
Dyad, yeah.
Dyad, yeah.
This reference. It's no longer the Trinity.
Yeah.
It's the Force Dyad.
I like that. Yeah. As long as it's a win-win trade, both sides, I'm willing to do it. And I really, really like Kuminga. I think Kuminga's as a Jazz fan, if we had a guy like Kuminga, or Moody or BP or any of those guys, I think they would really, play well. And obviously that's guaranteed minutes, guaranteed starting and closing, all that type of stuff. So I'd be happy for that. But Markkanen next to Steph and Dray, man, that's good enough. Where as long as it's not like gutting our roster, and that's what I mean by win-win trades, not gutting our roster and getting fair compensation to the Jazz for Markkanen and fair compensation back. As long as it's a win-win trade, yeah, I would do it.
All right. Good to have patience with Mike. Drift. Good. I know. Don't get me wrong, Ans. I would be heartbroken that to lose JK, and I love BP. I mean, we had his dad on here
Absolutely.
for the live stream. I talked to his trainer a lot. So yeah. But luckily,
If
I
Steph
think Ainge wants picks.
if Steph weren't on the team, I'd be very hesitant to trade those guys. But just
Exactly.
I'm telling you, Steph and Mark and Draymond,
Oh,
that would be great. We kind of, whatever we can do to help Steph get the net number 5, that's what I'm interested in doing.
and to close that, when you mentioned that, I would just think about the last live stream just a few hours ago with Alex of the Rim Review, talking about how
Go check out his channel, please.
I could totally what?
I just said go check out his channel. It's really good.
Yeah, the Rim Review. Don't forget
Rim
the.
Review. Yep.
And like he's like, oh wow, I could totally see Markkanen. They do the just one side with the action with Steph, him and Steph. Like it'd be very hard to defend that because Lauri can shoot. So very exciting to think about. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some rest, and then I'm going to think about Markkanen in a Warriors uniform, how that would mesh with Steph and Dray. Then I've got to think about Team USA. We're going to see Steph and Steve, and even BP is going to be there in that same gym. Trace Jackson Davis will be there. I mean, it's going to be crazy. I better get some rest. I got to think about what I used to do. I got to think about how to not burn myself out. I got to think about making sure I have all my iPhone batteries charged and how to go live from the YouTube app on my phone versus StreamYard. I don't know if there's the difference between the two, and I have to ask Team USA, if it's okay to go live, and if not, and so on and so forth. So we're going to shift gears dramatically. I kind of hope Ainge, and the worst thing for me personally would be if we got Markkanen right during USA training camp. Now it's going to happen, right? That would suck. But anyways, that's happening Saturday at 12 o'clock ish. So that is the next live coming up. Count on that. But I really want to, after we just talked right here, I really want to do like a Markkanen rewatch. So we want
absolutely.
First game is July 10th versus Canada.
And this is an interesting comment here as we're going out by Devin Cagadoc. Out of the players who shot at least 5 catch-and-shoot threes last year per game, not total, I'm sure, Lauri led the league at 41%. He's the best replacement for our offense that we can get. Anybody who's on the table for a talent like him other than Steph and Draymond, of course.
Nice.
July 10th. Oh, my God. Basketball doesn't stop, ever. I love it.
Can you just answer this one? You know what my answer to that is.
Timestamps.
No.
Our picks are valuable. The pick swaps can be unprotected, and it seems like the Warriors are in position to be able to get some more draft capital, depending on if there's a third or fourth team involved. So, not all unprotected pick is made equally. If you got the Boston Celtics' next 3 unprotected picks, it wouldn't be equal to the Warriors' next 3 unprotected picks and pick swaps. So I'm not sure if I agree with you on that. I think we have some pretty attractive draft capital to throw around. Oh yeah, I did see a report of the Kings being close, and apparently only 10% chance Jazz trade North. That is from which reporter?
No idea.
Tony.
Devin S. Email me, rich@letsgowarriors.com.
That was
I mean, like people like you and you want to just come on here and rain on the parade. Go ahead. That's what you do. You're addicted to that. It's all good. We've seen your type before. I'm sorry, but the Sac Kings did not sign Buddy Hield for $9 million. Did not sign a Melton. Did not sign a Kyle. And they're just like they're doing their thing. They don't need to be doing that. They're on their path. So we're doing all the things to present to Lauri that this is a championship roster, and we've got guys coming here. So you haven't said anything to that. All you talk about is like, oh, but there's this report and that report. Like those aren't being reported as strongly as the Warriors. So
yeah, I got the quote here from Jake Fisher.
There you go. So did it happen? Why hasn't it happened then?
You want to hear the quote, Rich? It's the Sacramento Kings, to my knowledge, he said, earlier this week, we're close to a deal. I do think that based off the conversation he's had.
Who?
Utah prefers Jake Fisher, yeah.
Okay.
Utah prefers to keep Lauri and renegotiate and extend him. They can't do that, though, until August 6th. So why not spend the next month fielding offers? Utah is conducting their business with a 10% chance that they're going to move him, but you're telling me there's a chance? Question mark. That was the quote. So who was the Utah guy who said there was like a 10% chance Jazz were going to move him? Tony something. I can't remember his name though.
Tony Jones.
Tony Jones. That's it. Yeah. That's one side of what's coming out of Utah. The other side, though, and this is for sure, is that the Jazz twice in a row, 2 years in a row, have put out what they want for Markkanen, which is 5 first-round picks, and obviously are fielding calls. Now, I don't think they went out and tried to. I don't think they picked up the phone and called other teams trying to trade him. I don't think that happened. But where there's smoke, there's fire, or there's potential fire in this case, at least. So, what reporters are told is also part of the game. Oh no, there's only a 10% chance. All these other teams shouldn't get, that don't really have the draft capital that we're looking for. They shouldn't be involved, Or it's the Warriors or the Kings saying, "Oh well, Warriors, we almost made that deal," putting pressure on us. So we'll just wait and see. I think it's way more likely than a 10% chance, though, personally. Doing all these moves.
Okay, I'm leaving at 2 hours. I'm tired, guys. Been up a long time. Come on here at the...
there's plenty for you guys to go watch through.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can think whatever you want. Shanoa, go ahead. But there's way more evidence that we're going to get on him and not sack, period. Let me just say it.
So far.
You need me to spell it out for you. You got about a minute to get that email over. I don't have time. Why am I doing this? If you'd put a super chat in there, maybe I'd do it.
Yeah. Thank you for all the people with the super chats these past few days, by the way. Awesome. Hey, also, Rich is exhausted. He's been on forever. There's 185 of you watching. We got 76 likes. Come on now. You gotta watch for this long and not leaving a like is free.
Doesn't matter what the radio guy says. What's that proof that you weren't lying? I already believe you, man. So Sacramento ESPN guy said that Sacramento offered this, that, and the other thing. The trade didn't happen.
Also, the Warriors can match that, basically.
So you don't have Lauri. Show me the thing. There it is. All right, cool. YouTube, huh? Tony Jones.
There you go.
There he is. Okay, go look up Monty Poole. But thanks for the email. You can believe what you want. Go ahead. I bet you right now, though. I would bet you we're going to get him and not Sacramento. So I'll go look up Jake Fisher when I have more energy. And they will want Kuminga. Yeah, we'll see. No, we never said they wanted Wiggins. Anyways, you guys are late on here, but that's the nature of the beast of a live stream is people hop on at different times. So then we end up saying the same thing. But again, let's go back to the next live. I think even Sacramento fans would want to see this. Jeez. I can't find the next live one. There it is. Wow, that was 2:41. 20 minutes ago, I thought we were leaving the chat, but nevertheless, here we are. No problem, Shanoa. Yeah, Mikhail. Yeah, I know. We'll see. But it feels good, man. Again, I go back to you. You guys can come up with all of the reasons not to think we'll get Markanen. But I always just come right back to Buddy Hield thinks we're getting Markanen. DeAnthony Melton thinks we're getting Markanen. And Kyle Anderson thinks we're getting Markanen. So I'm going to think we're getting Markanen.
Well, at least the moves that they made, you know, even if they haven't said anything publicly like that, I agree with Rich. It points to that. Definitely.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you soon, Dean.
All right. Take it easy, everybody. Enjoy Vegas, Rich.
Oh, wait. We didn't do the Just Us. My fault.
That's right. And Brate, of course.
Here we go.
We all, for the new people, we always do this nice Warriors chant at the end here, and then say hello to Decky. Yeah.
This doesn't seem right. Just us. Brate. See you Saturday from Vegas. Take care.
I'll be at work. I'll be in the comments, Rich.
All right. Thanks.